Welcome to the Powered by Rock podcast. In today's episode, I'm actually excited to speak to two incredible guests. The first one we'll be speaking to is the San Diego-based rock band Nights Like Thieves. This is actually a former guest that we're having back on, Mario, and they have actually a new singer. So I'm going to talk to them about their new music, their new lineup, and see how much longer it takes before Mario is actually phased out of the band completely. You'll also get to hear a song from them before the end of our segment, which is actually going to be a world premiere because it hasn't even come out yet. It comes out later this week. After that, I'll be speaking to a kick-ass rock band from Tuscaloosa, Alabama called Homebody, who are really, really good. And both bands are within each other's wheelhouses too. So if you like one band on the show today, you'll probably like the other one as well. So get up and get ready because here we go. Welcome to Season 4 of the Powered by Rock podcast. We'll bring you the best stories in rock music with a focus on highlighting independent rock musicians and their music from all over the world. No, rock music isn't dead. It's getting better and better. It's just time for you to start paying attention again. With that said, let's get this party started.
The mountain's gonna rise and fall by me.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Powered by Rock podcast. It's always a good day when I get to speak to our first guest today, which is Nights Like Thieves. Mario was on the show last season spilling the beans a little early about bringing on a new singer. Well, surprise, that new singer is here joining us today. That's Angel. So hey guys, welcome to the show.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, good to have you back. I think you're only like the second, maybe third repeat guest, so you should feel like you're in special company. I think Mercy Music's actually only the first one, so I think you'd be the second.
You know what's funny is
Nice.
my good friend Mackenzie from Albuquerque's on tour with Mercy Music right now.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, Kinsey River or whatever, the Kinsey City Rock or whatever.
Yeah, she's a really close friend of mine.
That's awesome.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I keep seeing posts by her. I'm like, who the hell is this person? She gets to go on tour with them. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I was talking to her. I'm supposed to talk to her today, but
Oh, homegirl from
Albuquerque,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Mackenzie.
Nice.
So yeah,
Awesome. So I also know that you are essentially going to be playing bass in Akana, at least for the current time, right, Mario? So you got a couple of lineup changes here, both in Nights Like Thieves, which is the band you started, and then you're joining another band as kind of a lineup change there as well.
yeah. Icona is my second band that I play bass in, and but Nights Like Thieves is like my first. I've been doing Nights Like Thieves for almost 7 years now.
Yeah. Since the
Like-
beginning of your life.
Since the beginning of my life, dog years. But yeah. So it's cool. I play two different instruments and two different bands.
Yeah. And I was going to say, you have a lead singer now in Angel, who is killer. You have a lead guitarist, obviously, in the band already. So
Well,
Matt,
and I both switch off leads because there's
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
songs I play leads, and then
that
we
feels
switch
like a bit of
off.
charity, though. My question here is, at what point have you just rendered yourself obsolete out of your own band?
Probably next year or something. I don't know. Totally.
It'll be Nights Like Thieves
Get out of
featuring Mario Rivera on kazoo.
No, it's cool. Like, yeah, Angel and I have just been. I've known Angel for over a decade now, and I've always been a fan of his voice. And one day, he lives in Texas, so he doesn't even live in San Diego. So one morning, I just like all the new stuff we've been writing. It's just my voice can't do it justice, and Angel's a way better singer than I am, and but we work well together. And so I just woke up one morning and I was like, "Hey, dude, you want to join our band even though you live in Texas? We'll make it work." And here we are.
Yeah.
Whole year later, manifesting, and that we're already finished everything that we said we were going to do.
Yeah. And now we're planning to do tours and go to that next level.
Nice. So I guess from your point of view, Angel, what was the conversation like when Mario decided to hit you up and say, how are we going to do this? And do you want to do this? And I know obviously from Texas to San Diego is not easy. It's a short flight essentially, but it's not an easy, like you can't practice online. It's fucking hard to do that because there's only a couple softwares that even kind of remotely work and not over that distance, right?
Exactly. No, but luckily we both, something that was rad is that we both end up using the same software. We both use Logic, Pro X, so we like would send each other files right away. The sessions, I mean, I could just open them on my end, and that was like essentially how it just started. I was just like, well, send me just some riffage, send me some songs that you got, and I'll just try and vibe them. But yeah, no, I mean, I was startled upon the request because like it's not the first time that Mario and I had discussed about like making music or doing something together, but it just never happened. And then come forward now, like, you know, past decade later, there's like no reason as to why like I should have said no or should say no to that question. So when he asked it, I was like, you know what, let's do it, man. Let's run it. Like, you know, let's make something happen. Yeah. And then it's been like a whole, I'd say the last, man, I can't even remember when Mario sent me the first instrumental. We've just been going through them.
Like, I think it was like 6 months ago, maybe.
Yeah, like 6 months ago. And now we're over.
I know our interview was about 6 months ago, Mario, and you had mentioned it was pretty brand new. So
what's funny is now, like, you know, at practice when Angel's in Texas, we have his vocals on a backing track. So we're playing and it's like he's still there singing, but I practice my harmonies with him and I still sing certain parts of the songs.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not singing at all, but he's just the main one. And it's been working out. And he's been staying with me here for the last month. So he leaves. We have 2 shows this weekend, and then he goes back to Texas, and then he's going to come back. We're trying to book a tour for either August or September.
Yeah. Nice. Is this something that's eventually going to lead to you moving out there, Angel, or is this something that's going to stay long term?
As far as I know right now, I mean, we're just playing it, and I mean, we're in a time where now I feel like things are, how do I put it? Like they're just more accessible to be able to do. Like it doesn't require me living in San Diego for me to do or commit to such a endeavor. You know what I'm saying? Like tour and all that. I mean, it's just about me showing up. You know what I'm saying? And everything else. I mean, you see it now. Bands be practicing via Zoom or whatever it is. Like, you know what I'm. All of that. Like, so there isn't really like a reason, but yeah, I mean, who's to say? Like, you know, I don't know anything. Like, I can't foretell the future, but it's just right now it's easy that for him, because we don't play that many San Diego shows anyways, and we want to start focusing on hitting the road more this time and playing local shows here and there. But all we got to do is just call him up, be like, hey, come out, and then he'll cruise out here and we'll just do it. And writing is just so easy, and then practice too. Just the backing track situation, just throwing his vocals on there when he's not here, just works out so well. Yeah. Part of it that helps, I think, too, is that I mean, what I love that Mario was down for is that, you know, we want to be exclusive with like the shows. Like, you know, we don't want to be playing like every 2 weeks or like every month or so. Like, you know, like I don't want to be that band saying like, oh, did you catch Nights Like Thieves? Like, you know, such and such bar. Oh yeah, they played there 2 weeks ago, or like whatever. Yeah. No, like, you know, and that's even if I'm not saying that that's a hypothetical, but if I were here, we'd probably be taking on more shows or doing such a thing, and it doesn't need to be that way. Like that's something that I feel like, because, you know, when we build such an exclusive or like a demand kind of like, you know, I want the people to come out. Like I want them, and without sounding how do I say this, like in a weird cocky way, but I want some of the people to feel like they're missing out. Like, you know what I'm saying? The people that aren't showing up for these shows, like they're missing out. Like, you know, essentially, like it sucks that you didn't come out, whatever. But the ones that did, like, we're having an awesome time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you'll have to wait till next year to come to a show.
Yeah.
Well, because since he's been here, we are playing 2 shows back to back that we never do. But one is a bar show, one is an all ages show. So
yeah.
Stuff like that makes sense. But yeah, man, our band now is so much different. It's just like brought us to the next level. It's so much better. The live show is so much better. The sound, like our harmonies live are like, oh man, we're just super stoked, and I'm just so happy that we made this move.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, what have the shows been like so far? Because you've had 2 shows already, and then you have 2 more, I think, right? You had 1 show already. How was that? How did that actually go?
Oh, it was awesome. It was hard to get a lot of people out because, you know, I like hand texted a lot of friends and other people that I know in the music scene, like, hey, can you guys come out? Like our singer's from Texas, you know, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we'll be there. Nobody showed up.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's not true.
Mario takes it as like if it's not a packed house, nobody showed up.
No.
I consider over 10 people a party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like party.
Well, no, but like a lot of people that I did message, none of them showed up.
Yeah. There were people, just not the people that you said come.
Yeah, some
exactly.
people did. I'm not saying not all.
But it's like gang. Like
but yeah, I was trying to push it because I wanted to bring a bigger crowd for Angel. You know, like this dude's flat. Like this was his first time playing California, and so of course I wanted to make it special for the first show you played with us. But other than that, it was awesome.
It was special, man. It was awesome because the whole time I was in my head and like I was over here just like thinking, oh man, like will California have me? Like all these things in my head, like singing, and then. Once Mario and I came home and we put in the footage, we dropped in the footage into the computer and watched it. I was like, we look at each other and I was like, damn, I was tripping for nothing, man. I was like,
yeah,
what the hell? And like Mario too, like we were all, you sounded great. Like the harmonies was great. The footage was great. It was Mario's fiance that recorded us.
Yeah,
and everything.
she's becoming my camera girl.
Nice.
She recorded us and everything. She got great footage, and we're all like, "What?" Like
it just watching the band now and like from previous videos of our shows to watching it now with Angel, it's just night and day. It's just 100 times better.
So are you saying that the band should have been called Days Like Thieves before, and now it's Nights Like Thieves?
Dude.
Yeah, I mean we could switch it up.
Previously of Days Like Thieves.
Yeah. No, we're just
That's awesome. I mean, the one thing I think a lot of people, especially in startup bands, will say, or when they're starting to kind of regroup a band, is that they'll take way too many shows, play two shows a week, and yeah, that helps grow a little bit for a little while, but you can't sustain that because you're in front of 10, 15 people versus having one show where you're in front of 60, 70 people or potentially 100 people, right? So like, you don't want to just keep burning yourself out because then it stops being fun when it's like you're doing all this work for 10 people to show up or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for our goal, I mean, we were talking the other day, we're like, we need to start touring. I bought this van almost 2-3 years ago, and it's been sitting there. We've done 2 little tours in it, and it's like now with everybody on board, and it's like we need to start pushing for like 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And like
yeah, I mean, it's not like you got a job, Mario. You work for yourself, buddy.
Yeah, I work for myself. Yeah. But like everybody in the band is like, let's do this. We're actually talking about trying to do a European tour next summer. So since we record with our buddy Joe Marsh, he mixes and masters and produces all our music now. He lives in the UK, so he's gonna try to help us out and get us on some get us booked out there and put us together with some other bands. So we're really going to try to push and just try to take our band to that next level that we need to be in and just try to ride it as much as we can.
Ride it until the horse dies, right?
For real.
Until we get to be in our 60s, which is coming up soon.
This will be the farewell and first tour ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you guys obviously we're talking about this before we started recording, but you guys have actually started putting out new material. Well, not putting it out yet, but like putting together new material, and you will have a new EP or LP or something like that, or singles at least to release soon. But obviously we also talked about going back and re-recording some of the songs that you already had and putting Angel on there. So talk to me about how that's working, because obviously when you have the ability to have 2 singers, you can take, you know, some of the stuff that you already did and enhance it. How's that going so far?
Oh, dude, hearing his voice singing my old parts, I'm just like, dude, this is how the song is supposed to sound. It just sounds so much better.
He's hard on himself, but other than that, I think the harmonies sound, they sound like cream, man. They sound so good, like, because our voices are so similar and in texture and everything. So whenever it comes to
range,
all of that, like whenever you play it back, it's just like, oh wow, like
yeah, especially live, like we pull off like tight harmonies, and that's something Nights Like Thieves never done before with just Steve and I. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah. And that's
hard. Like, I ain't fucking singing, man.
It's hard too, because other bands, like Hamari says, like other bands will emulate those harmonies or like have them running through the backtrack. You know what I'm saying? We're doing that raw and real. Yeah. So like
we have backtracks for our songs, but it's more like keys and sound effects and stuff. No harmony vocals. I think that's cheating, but
and I think that's kind of weird when people put like actual instruments as their backing track or like actual vocal performance. I'm like,
well,
but that's not a band. Like that's not a real live band, right? Like you're playing to another song. It's almost like you already have it recorded.
We add strings, sound effects. We do add certain guitar part things that just layer it.
I've seen a band put like a backing drum track while the drummer is also playing. I'm like, well, what the fuck is the drummer there for?
We have electronic drums, electric drums that go in our stuff too, but Kyoki plays along with it as well. It just makes it sound so much fuller. But going back to the recording stuff, we've done 3 old songs. These days, The Good Hurt and Sorry. And we just finished tracking it, so we're gonna send that off to the UK to get that mixed. And then we have.
So I'm thinking Joe's job might be a little bit easier now since there's actually.
Yeah, he already has the song mixed. He's just basically putting Angel in there.
Yeah.
And so, and then we did 4 brand new songs that are getting mixed soon as well. But the new one is called This Is My War, and that comes out May 5th. And that's the first song with Angel's vocals on it.
Yeah. So it's actually segues into my next question. So let's talk about this song. You had actually told me what you said the song was about, but I don't believe you that it's about erectile dysfunction. So I know it's not, but let's talk about what it's actually about and how did this song come about?
So This Is My War is actually a song that our guitar player, Matt, the way we work songs is either like, well, Matt will write a song, I'll write a song, then we'll come together and then we like edit it and put it together, whatever. Right. So, Matt sent me, Matt sent me like 40 songs that he's done and we kind of pick. And then, him and I wrote the lyrics together and yada yada. So basically, Matt and I wrote the song together. We had it. I sent Angel a bunch of songs, and then I told him this is one of the songs we already recorded drums for. We just haven't sent it off to be mixed and mastered. So then Angel took over the vocals on that. We both do.
Yeah.
But that song's been kind of in the works for like a year now.
He sent it to me already pretty much with structure.
Yeah,
and
it's already done.
With melodies and stuff. So we just went ahead and like tackled it on and brought it to life, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like the low hanging fruit of like what you could accomplish first kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was just already laid out and done. He just kind of came in and did his thing on it. And then,
we call that polishing a turd in the business.
Yeah. It was a turd before. It was a turd when my vocals were just on it. Now it's polished.
Yeah.
His. And mine. I'm still on it too, but.
Yeah. So this is actually going to be interesting because we're going to play this song right now. So this is My War. This is My War by Nights Like Thieves. This is actually going to be before about 3 days. It's going to come out about 3 or 4 days before it actually premieres for you guys. So this, I guess, would be the exclusive like world premiere of This Is My War.
Yeah. Yeah. Check it out. And then follow us on Spotify and stream it from there.
Yeah. So in a couple of days, you'll see this. Make sure you pre-save it, listen to it here, and then go pre-save it, and then listen to it on Spotify when it comes out in a couple of days. But let's take a quick break and listen to This Is My War by Nights Like Thieves, and we'll be back right after this.
This voice in my mind won't leave I hate you. It's a slow ride. Take your time, don't ask why. Running from the sunlight, coming back to truth. This is my world. This is my world. This is my world. This is my breathing in the memories, breaking up the silence. This is my world. This is my world. This is my world. Breathing in the memories, breaking up the silence. Breaking up the silence. Breaking up the silence. So I stay awake. It's hard to find my own self. Stay awake. It's hard to find your own self. Stay awake. It's hard to find my own self. Breathing in the memories, breaking up the silence. This is my life. This is my life. This is my
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you rocked out to "This Is My War" by Nights Like Thieves. I know I enjoyed it. I haven't even heard it yet. We're gonna put it in post, so I'm just gonna guess that it was good. But it's fantastic.
It's a slow, more like a ballady type song. It's
Yeah, I just like fist pump the whole time through it and kick shit over.
not like this, but it's all
Yeah, very cool. So obviously, let's get into a couple of more entertaining questions, because it's great. We want to promote your band, but also I want to make fun of you as well, Mario, because that's one of my favorite things to do in the world is talk shit to people that I like. So you got an attack dog there?
yeah, it's Chapo.
So I'm curious. Obviously, we all know that Angel is the better singer, but who wins in a death match between the two of you?
Like a fight?
Yeah, death match. Yes.
Oh, dude, I'll beat his
Death
ass.
match,
He knows
no.
that.
No.
What happened the other night?
No, but that's not fair. He had like alcohol in his system. I
Oh,
had to, like,
dude, that
calm
should
him
make
down.
me weaker.
No.
I was like, I don't even remember it. Angel's like, dude,
Proper preparation,
you fucked me up last
composed,
night.
like I don't know, like and had rage too. It's hard to hurt somebody you love, man. Come on.
yeah, and Angel's like my brother, man.
So Angel could kill you, but he's just going to refrain from trying to hurt you, and then you're just going to be like, "It's a death match."
Well, let's arm wrestle right now.
No.
He knows I'll win.
You're gonna set the tone, Isaac, for after this video. He's just gonna want to do shit
Oh,
all
yeah.
day. I know, or he's just gonna want to one-up me all day.
That's how it was with me and my brother. Like, if somebody ever asked us like who wins in a fight, and then my brother would be always like me, but I'm like, yeah, but I never quit. So like, it doesn't. The fight. There's only been one fight, and it never ended for like 17 years.
I feel like you might have won the round, but not the war, bro.
Yeah.
No, the other night we got in a wrestling match, and he's like woke up the next day like, "What'd you do to my ribs?"
No, I know what you did to my ribs. Mario got faded.
I had him in a headlock, and I'm like, "Oh."
Mario got faded and was playing with our friend. And then I just took off my jacket and I was like, all right, I'm going to size up with you because I know this is what you want. So I sized up with him. And right after that, like, I mean, we were getting down to his house, like brawling, but I could see his fiance and everybody looking at us. And I'm like, all right,
They should have filmed it because
this isn't going down right. I was like,
yeah,
this isn't going down right.
because I got him down.
We dropped the table. We dropped like a little plant. And then
People don't seem to like it so much when like grown ass men, like 30 plus, 35 plus, start fighting.
Yeah, no, they don't.
He's 32.
And then he started going hard or something on the ribs, man, because I woke up and all of a sudden,
Dude, I have more experience. Actually, the other night we went to a bar in my neighborhood, and these two girls were all about Angel, and this guy was being creepy towards them, and Angel's like, "Hey, have respect, like, you know, calm down." And the guy pushed Angel, and then I pushed the dude all the way into the bar. It like almost got all crazy.
Yeah, it could have got ugly.
It could have got ugly, but it didn't. But
I could have been having this conversation with you while you're in jail right now.
Yeah, it's been years since
Kinda, yeah.
But I saw him push him, man. I'm like, you're gonna push my boy like that?
Yeah.
Bodyguard, dude. I'm like,
Mario was over 5 whiskeys in. That's why he's saying it. Just like, come on. The Albuquerque.
Well, I think,
Albuquerque, because we're from Albuquerque, New Mexico, dude. And Albuquerque is pretty gnarly. Like,
yeah. Well, I think from memory, the last time we talked, you said that one of the worst shows that you ever had was one that you got kicked out of because you were hammered.
Yeah, I got in a fight while our band was playing, and I got kicked out, and the band was still playing on stage, and I'm outside the door looking in, watching.
Like, finish the set, guys. I want to come back.
Yeah, I've been in. Yeah, Albuquerque was pretty wild. I used to be pretty wild when I was younger, and
yeah,
Albuquerque, you get in a. I mean, when I used to live there, it used to be pretty. Albuquerque's a gnarly place.
Yeah. All right, I got an interesting question. This is going to take some teamwork to answer. So, what's one thing that you guys have something that you both love, like in common, that you both love, and something that you both hate in common?
Oh shit.
Well, things that we love is music, of course.
Yeah.
That's lame, Mario. Pick something else. That's what the man wants.
We love
something interesting.
We love being Hispanics.
I love tacos.
Mario does love tacos.
I do. Well,
I love tacos. I'm not lying. I'm Mexican, so I love it by default.
Yeah, he's Mexican, I'm Cuban. But one thing that we hate.
Hate.
What are some things that we love though? We share like the same passion.
This is like the love connection. It's to see how compatible you guys are.
Same taste in music,
and we both not fuck with cameras.
Oh yeah. Videography and like
photography. Create like the creativeness is like pretty.
I guess you'd say we both love media. We both love media.
Yeah, we like doing. Yeah, we both.
And then hate. Shit. Oh, I hate. That you hate. I hate different things in you.
Yeah. What is something?
Angel's like, I hate cats. And this house is covered in them.
Nah, dude. Originally, I thought I was what's it called?
Allergic,
but I'm not. The other day, and then, man, it's so weird. Like, have you ever been one of those people where you like feel something and then you go and self-diagnose yourself off of Google? Like,
yeah, he's been like.
I was like, I came out the other day and I was like, dude, I have pleurisy. Like, that's what I have. And it's
he's
like
feeling all these pains, but it's
these...
from when I beat his ass the other night.
No, it wasn't. That's not what it was. I was actually feeling like breath, like shortness of breath or something. I was like, this ain't COVID, bro. Like, what the hell am I feeling? I was like, this is.
He's like, it's your cat, and then he's like, no, it's.
But then I was like, it's not your cats, and I was like, it's this bong rip.
Yeah.
That left me like messed up.
I'm trying to think of something. What do we hate? Like we have to hate it the same thing.
Ideally, yeah. I mean, there's going to be some easy ones like everybody hates sitting in traffic. Everybody hates, whatever. But I know like in just conversations between myself and Mario, for example, outside of the podcast, we've had conversations about government, religion, random shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Actually, I got to experience.
We're not talking about any of that stuff.
Him and Stubborn Steve.
Oh, dude, Steve and I go back and forth.
Let me see. What is Mario and I hate? What do Mario and I hate? Oh, man.
What do we hate?
I was hoping that you guys would be like, we love the same woman and I hate him for that.
No, dude. Gosh, that's a hard one, bro.
That's a hard one because I've never
been asked that.
Yeah, as long as we've known each other, I don't think we've ever sat down and be like, what do we dislike on the same page?
Well, that's good. Maybe you dislike having conversations about things you dislike.
Yeah, there you go. That's our answer.
He's got doo-doo. Oh man, that was okay.
All right. And obviously, you guys are going to be playing some.
I hate the fact that I lost all my Spanish, and he hates that as well because he always has to speak for me.
Yeah.
Because like I still
We
understand.
hate you both hate that Mario can't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
No, I just tell him like, what a shame. Like, dude,
It is
you're
a
Cuban,
shame,
you're
and I'm
Cuban.
so shameful of that because I'm like the only one in my entire family that doesn't speak Spanish anymore.
But I'm
And it
just
was my first language,
dude, I'm
and I'm like so shameful of
balls,
that.
though. He takes it so serious.
Yeah, so
I feel like every time Mario walks into some place, they're like speak Spanish, and when he just turns to you, and they're like, "You piece of shit."
yeah, I have been doing that.
He's just like, dude, no, anytime we've seen somebody of like Latino like ethnicity, he'll turn and look at me and be like, "Hey, bro, talk to her," or like,
Well, no, 'cause
our
we
waiter, talk to him, say something in Spanish.
Well, no, because like
Get us the good deal.
also too, I'm trying to like relearn it, so I'm asking him. You know, it's I feel very shameful of that I don't speak Spanish anymore.
This morning I taught him what salute meant. Salute is cheers.
Well, I know it's
but also bless you.
salute. Yeah, I didn't know it was bless you. I knew it was cheers, but and here's another cool things we're doing. We're gonna do some songs where it's gonna be Spanish and English.
Nice.
For Nights Like These, we're gonna do a little mix up there. But I was like, that's a good way for me to relearn too.
I was gonna say then they have to force you to actually sing some of this in Spanish too.
Yeah, language swap.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what we hate. together.
Angels now babble or what's Duolingo for you?
Yeah, pretty much.
His nickname in the band is going to be Rosetta Stone. That's what it is.
Dude, I have that. I still, yeah, it's a shame.
He's like, yeah, it's a shame.
I always tell my
He's
sister, I'm
beating
like,
himself
Monique,
up
teach
so
me
hard.
Spanish. She's like, go on Rosetta Stone. Or dude,
It's easy,
teach
bro.
yourself.
It'll
I
be
know.
Yeah.
But okay.
I was going to say, you guys obviously have some touring that you're going to do. That's the plan anyway, right? So like what other than the shows that you currently have, do you have anything set in motion or do you have pretty good ideas about what you're going to do for the rest of 2023?
Well, we have, all these new songs. We're not releasing EPs or albums because our bands, nobody really knows of us. And we feel that singles are going to push us to get out there more and then to help us build. But touring overall, I mean, we're still kind of old school. Like, we think you need to be touring while you're working social media and stuff. But yeah, we have a bunch of new music. I mean, we're already working on 2 other songs now, or 3. The Spanish one. I don't know if you've heard, like, we haven't heard bands that really sound like us do Spanish. So it's like, we're pretty stoked on that.
But for the plans, I think most likely
Even even the band Spanish Love Songs, who kind of is like you, I don't think they speak Spanish.
No, they don't speak Spanish at all.
Yeah.
We actually played a lot of shows with them before they blew up. They're a great band.
Yeah, they're very cool.
But go ahead.
we're gonna be like how Mario said, we're gonna be trying to tour in like around August
Or September.
And then I'll be back in San Diego. There's no telling, like, I could be back sooner if like the right opportunity presents itself or the right show,
Yeah, if we get offered like a bigger show opening up for a national or something, Angel will be on a plane like right away.
Just right here for us
Yeah.
to come. Meanwhile, we're also looking at taking on some shows over in Tijuana, so that's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
I already got something set in motion for that. It's just honestly a matter of just like finding the right bands and the right acts to go with us out there. But that's like, for us right now, that's like a 25-minute beautiful drive. Demographic, and like it's a whole other uncharted territory. But like,
and he could speak Spanish, so he can.
I'll be the band tour guy.
Yeah.
They'll think that you're like the translator or something. Angel, like, no, I'm the lead singer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we definitely want to go.
I'll lead everybody to believing that I'm the translator up until like I take the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely now that our band, like, we definitely want to push touring way more. We're trying to get I book all the tours, like all our tours I book myself, but I would like to see if I can get help from a booking agent or try to run that avenue. Like, it's just hard because a lot of these bigger booking agencies don't take on smaller bands that nobody really knows of. So, but I'm trying to use the contacts that I have to see if I can maybe connect with somebody. But yeah, touring and writing. And we're talking about doing an acoustic
and
release
putting
too.
our faces out there as much as possible. I'm just like Mario. I believe in the old school way, but I'm also like
the new school way too.
I'm very much aware of how much we need to put our faces up on the internet, or how much, you know what I'm saying, that we need to be like posting TikToks, like posting any type of content
trying
to
to
get us out there, whether it be us now, like, you know, we nailed some acoustic. Now I was telling Mario, I was like, dude, we could go play acoustic nights all around.
Our acoustic video that we just released, that was the first time we've ever played acoustics as Nights Like Thieves. We've never done that before. And that was like our second try at that song. And we're like, fuck it, let's print it. Let's put it out. No auto-tune, nothing. We normally, like a lot of bands, like fixed their, like we just went raw and we're like, screw it. We use the sound. We mic'd ourselves up and we used the camera audio. I had a shotgun mic on my camera and we just mixed down both and just like didn't even worry about. We're just like, let's put it out there. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, go to Nights Like Thieves on YouTube and check out our acoustic version.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I watched it this morning or yesterday, whenever you put it out. So yeah, it's good.
It's good content, man. I was proud of it. Like for us, like how he said, we've never played acoustic as a band, like ever.
Yeah. And even before Angel joined, Matt and I have never played acoustic together.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard when you kind of in that genre too, you kind of think about the presentation of the band as well as not just the music itself, because you want it to fit the kind of package. So if you start doing acoustic, then people start thinking, is this really kind of like the band aesthetic or whatever? And then you get in your head about it.
All of that. Yeah. It's got to be the right songs. Like that's what I was telling too. Like I'll tell Mario, like, you know, only some of them can be transposed or like switched up with like an acoustic rendition. Not all of them, but like the ones I do, man, you best believe some the people love it.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, that's all I got for you guys. Obviously, thank you so much for your time today. It's good to meet you for the first time, Angel.
Hey, man, it's a privilege.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, I'll see you in 20 more days when you guys want to be back on the show, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be out in Vegas, Isaac.
Yeah. Well, I'll be out in Vegas in June, staying at your house.
Yeah, for a wedding, right? Your wedding.
No. No. For
for the show, for a Kana show. Yeah.
I am getting married in October.
I forgot about that.
October 7th.
You're not gonna be staying at my house.
We're doing the Italian mobster wedding package.
Nice.
We're getting married by the Italian mob.
Nice. Yeah, I had somebody say they wanted to stay with me. I think it was why can't I from Ready Set Survive and Palapalooza. Why can't I think of his first name?
Troy Cook.
Troy, yeah. I'm like, I have no idea why I can't think of his name. I'm just like thinking Brian for some reason.
Wait, he wanted
to stay with
Brian. He wanted to stay with you in Vegas?
Yeah, while you were for your wedding, if he was.
Oh, because they don't want to. He doesn't want to buy his own hotel room.
Well, he might, but he was like, if I don't get a hotel room, can I stay with you? I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not invited to the goddamn wedding, so I don't care what you do.
You want to come to the wedding?
I want to be the band at your wedding.
Oh, old school. Dan
I want to be the Dan band. Yeah.
Dude, I played with those guys in LA. Yeah, I played with them. My band back in 2005, we won the whole Ernie Ball Warped Tour Battle of the Bands contest out of like the nation. And one of our things was they flew us to LA to showcase, and we played with the Dan band.
Very cool.
Was fucking incredible. That was 2006, but yeah, the way we're doing our wedding is like they're only allowing us 40 people each from like my wife's side and my side or whatever. Yeah. And so it's like, but after that, so the reception lasts like 15 minutes and then we're going to go party.
Yeah. So I don't care about the wedding. I was just kidding, but I would like to ruin it if possible.
No, of course you could totally come, dude. We're going to party. You got to come.
Yeah, I'll go to the after party where your 5 whiskeys already in.
Yeah. I'll try to fight you or something.
It's not a joke. You will do it.
No, I don't get. Dude, the whole night we were at the bar, we were having a good time. The guy pushed you, and I saw him push you, and I pushed him back. That's all that happened.
And it stopped there, which is also the good thing, because like after that, it could be even worse.
Yeah. Oh, I have stories, and remember when I got stabbed?
He's like, dude, I got scars.
Albuquerque used to go nuts.
Yeah. Well, now there's just more crystal meth there, so I'm sure it's more tame.
Dude, you're gonna be in Albuquerque next week, right?
Or soon.
Soon?
By the end of the month.
Yeah.
He'll report back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it is, man.
I'll be there June 2nd, so right after Vegas. We go to Vegas, then Arizona. So never mind.
Yeah. Well,
So,
cool. Well, I don't want to
thank-
take up any more of your time today, but guys, it was great talking to you. I look forward to the music. I'll keep you in touch, and then obviously go check out the links below the show notes here, so that way you can listen to the new music, pre-save the new song. This is my war, and then obviously follow these guys, so that way you can see all the shit that's coming from Nights Like Thieves in 2023. And we'll be back to the Powered by Rock podcast right after this.
Reverend Guitars embodies the idea that every run of scorching lead and every roll of finger-picked twang deserve the same passion and commitment to quality. Whether you're selling out arenas or playing in your living room, we know that what makes an instrument powerful is when players wield them to create something remarkable. A melody that moves mountains, a riff that just won't quit. We want to be there in your hands when that happens. For us, that means staying true to what we believe. Somewhere along the road of electric guitar history, it became a crazy idea that guitar makers should craft guitars with the same sense of purpose and passion, whether they're played in a bedroom or an arena. If that's a wild idea, then we're in the right place, carrying 6 strings and an attitude, and we're in good company. Reverend Guitars. Well played.
Running your own music career is incredibly difficult. Trying to get people to like, share, comment, listen, follow, it's all just overwhelming. Most musicians give up before they ever achieve success, and that's the worst. If you're looking for a better way to grow your music career, head to DIYrockcareer.com for some absolutely free training. It costs you nothing, and it could be the difference between hitting your goals and quitting your dream. Go to DIYrockcareer.com today by clicking the link below this episode.
Then I lost my way.
Welcome back to the Powered by Rock podcast, everybody. I'm stoked to talk to the Alabama rock band Homebody today. I had to ask him if that was the correct pronunciation because it could have other pronunciations, but as far as I know, that's the only way that word sounds. But today is going to be fun because while it may not be something you hear a lot, Alabama actually does have some rad bands out there, and these guys are one of them. They have been releasing music since 2020, and they started out as a 2-man project, but there is now a permanent lineup. And they just released a brand new single, Hindsight, in February with a music video that will possibly be out around the same time this episode airs, I think. So hopefully you guys, either it'll be out or you'll be able to see it shortly after this episode airs. You're going to hear that song before the end of the episode as well. So stick around to have your mind blown because it is a good song. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
It's like, hey, we just woke up. It's like 4:00 in the afternoon, man. No, all good. So as a relatively new band, let me talk to you guys about how you put this together because, you know, obviously I just asked you right beforehand, like, and kind of what I got from your bios that you guys actually started this during COVID. So how did that actually come about? And then how has the style and the lineup and everything else kind of come full circle, like since you guys first started?
Did you take that one?
Well, I mean, we started right when the initial lockdown started in 2020. And so there's a lot of phone calls and a lot of sending riffs back and forth, stuff like that. But we both kind of had ideas saved away, like a lot of people do in voice memos and stuff like that. Yeah. So when we were able to get together, 6 feet, whatever, it just, the ideas started rolling, and we were kind of eager, ironically, to get back into the music scene, but then COVID happened. So
yeah,
it all started.
Yeah. So had you guys been playing in any bands before that around town, or had you guys, playing music on your own before that point?
Yeah, we've both been playing music for a long time, but I mean, we both had breaks, and I've been playing in a band from Birmingham, Alabama for it's been 6 years now. So, I mean, it was, 3 years prior to COVID was when I joined that band. So yeah, I already had kind of affiliation with the music scene around.
Okay.
Kind of, it's helped us as far as, we get to play alongside the band that I was already in, and have opportunities to meet people that could get us on shows and stuff.
And we were sorry, just to add, like we used to play in like back in the golden era of like heavy local bands or whatever. We were both in bands when we were teenagers and knew each other. So that's how we have a connection, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've known for what, almost 15 years.
Yeah, it's
like
been
that.
a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you guys are early 30s then from that kind of math. Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm 41. So I'm like, I never know, like anybody could be like 20 or anybody could be 40. It's like, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So obviously with the style you guys have, it's kind of like an indie emo kind of sound, right? Like it ranges and it's even, it changed a little bit, like with a little bit of the darker sound from Hindsight. But what's kind of been like the influences you guys have had for this band? And is that kind of the bands that you've played in? Is that the style of music you had, or was that something that completely uniquely happened when you guys started playing together?
Well, I know that he already had some songs written. Austin already had some songs written, like prior to me, like kind of being brought into the project. And I had one specific song that I was, I'm always writing something. I've always been writing something, but I had something in mind, and we had like our first little get together session, and it meshed perfectly. We basically finished the song in that session, and from there we just took off. But as far as influences go, we differ because I know that you have bands that you listen to and influences and stuff, and I'm just constantly writing. I probably write more music than I listen to music. So it's just, it kind of, we mesh well in that case because we're both writing a lot of music.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that was one of the things when I first started writing music. It was like, I'd actually just write a song a day pretty much. And I'm like, I don't even like listen to the radio anymore because I'm just too busy like making music. But now I'm old and have a kid, so now I don't write as much as I used to. But that was always fun, putting out a song a day just to see if I could make something good. And turns out I can't. So that's why you don't see me on the other side of this podcast.
Yeah.
What kind of influences were you listening to though, Austin?
What do I listen to?
I mean,
Mostly Britney Spears.
I mean, I like a lot of pop music for real.
Wouldn't you say like Teenagers would be like a big
Teenage Wrist,
Okay.
90s alternative, Third Eye Blind, like all the 90s alternative stuff is kind of what I'm shooting for when I write. Like a little heavier edge to it.
Sure.
But that's what I'm into. But people have told us we sound like we've been described as mall gothic or something like that. And then like people can hear the 90s rock influence, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
But then I don't really know where people target us in terms of genre. So I know that there's a lot of influence. I just don't know I can't pinpoint what we're really getting that from.
I will say, I think a lot of it is that so I have a home studio that we do a lot of our demos at.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say, 95% of the demos are made in my studio. And that just having that creative space and the freedom to put, basically right on the spot if we want to, it's a very smooth process. And a lot of the stuff that we write, it just ends up being what we like. The riffs, they take a turn based off of our style, the way that we play, but it just works well, that process.
Yeah, we've definitely laid down some stuff that we think that's not really cool, but just stick with it because there's a reason why we put it down to begin with, I guess.
Yeah, that's there's always times in the writing process where you're like, is this actually even worth putting forward? Or it's like, I don't know, man, this could be bad. Or but there's always one line in there or one little riff, and you're like, if I could just take that and make the rest of that thing better, it'd be great.
Yeah. That's pretty much how
Yeah. So let's talk about the new single Hindsight, because it's actually the one comparison I actually got in my brain when I listened to this song, and it doesn't even sound like this. And most people will be like, what the hell are you talking about? But having gone through your catalog and then got to Hindsight, it kind of reminded me of when Bush went from their first album to their second album. So from 16 Stone to, I don't even remember the name of the second album for the life of me right now, but they started getting a little bit darker, getting that little bit like crunchier guitar sound with a little bit more high end fuzz. And I was like, all right, well, this is kind of like that. Like it seems to have kind of gone in this more like uniquely like dark path.
Yeah.
So what was it kind of like for you guys when you were writing that song? Did it feel like it was a different change of pace, or something was different about that? Or did it just feel like the same kind of thing that you're going for?
Yeah, I think so. Jordan, our other guitar player, actually brought us the main riff that you hear in the intro, and then later on in the verses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's into a lot of like real heavy. I'd say he's probably into like some of the most heavy stuff that we listen to.
Yeah.
What are some of his favorite bands? Sleep Token. I'm not familiar with all. Like, I haven't listened to a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he just listens to a heavier genre like more often. We all listen to heavy music every now and then, but like he definitely brought that into that song. So
a lot of that is him, but then I think we also made like a conscious effort to try to make a little bit of a heavier song
that we had discussed prior to the project in general.
Right.
Yeah, it was like let's try something else after the full length came out. We were like, let's try to be a little bit heavier if we can.
Yeah, there's something still fun to play heavier kind of music, but keep the authenticity in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously you guys have actually released quite a bit of music. Obviously having a home studio helps create that process faster, but I think you've had one full length and an EP with a couple of singles since you guys have started in 2020. Is that correct? Or is there 2 EPs?
2 EPs,
yeah.
2 EPs. So 2 EPs and a full length. And that, I mean, for most bands, I mean, one LP is like a thing that you do every like 3 years or something like that. And then an EP maybe in between an LP, at least for like most major bands, right? Indie bands, like we could do an EP every 6 months because, like that's just what we can do.
Yeah.
So are you guys kind of staying in this direction? Because obviously having heard the first couple of EPs in the LP, it's similar sound, but it's clearly more on the, like, as you were saying, Austin, it has a little bit more pop fringe on it, right? It's got a little bit higher polish and stuff like that. This one's a little bit darker. Is this kind of is this like a one-off thing, or is this kind of the direction you guys might be going in?
I would say I think that just being so happy with the way it turned out, that that was already our intention in the first place, and just like hearing it back kind of proves it, that it is possible to take what we already had and turn it a little bit darker. So I mean, you never know, but I mean, for the most part, as of right now, we're trying to stay maybe on that track if we can. And
okay. Have you guys played the song live yet to see how people react to it?
We're actually we've got a show coming up where we'll debut the song
Nice.
in May. We just shot a video for the song though, and it was kind of strange to play it for the video because it was like we were kind of playing it live for the first time.
yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah, the stuff moves fast, like you said. I mean, I am kind of, and like it blows my mind that we've put out as much music as we have in the amount of time that we have. So like, if we we get a new song, it's like it's a whole thing to kind of throw that in the mix with the full band and everything. So because they're coming fast. So
yeah, you're like, oh, we've got 30 songs that we got to break down to 8 songs for a set. It's like, okay.
Live. It's kind of weird.
And you also have to stop for tuning breaks. Yeah, you have to have a couple drinks and like tell a joke here or there, right? Something. So yeah.
Yeah, we try to we do our best with the choices of the lineup of the songs.
Yeah, I was just curious if you had played it live to see if there was like obviously like a heavier reaction, more like moshing, or I don't even know what happens when you guys play live necessarily, but I guess it depends on the age of the people that actually show up to the shows, right? Like if it's an all ages, though, they might go harder, and then older people are definitely just gonna be standing there going like this the whole time. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do right now is obviously take a quick break so that way we can actually listen to Hindsight. So is it cool with you guys if I actually play this song on the air, and do I have your express verbal consent to play this so that YouTube and Spotify don't screw me over?
Of course.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're going to go into the break right now, and this is Hindsight from Homebody, and we'll see you right after this. All right, we are back. Hopefully you guys rocked out to Hindsight. It's a good song. I've listened to it myself already. It's a fantastic song. So obviously now what I want to talk about is a little bit more about the actual involvement, the songwriting process. Because obviously, Jonathan, you were saying that, you can write these things and then immediately put them to like recording, which kind of changes the songwriting process, where a lot of people, especially like back in my day, we didn't have availability of home recording as easily, or if it was garbage. So what we would do is we would write a song, play it, get together with the band, play it 100 times until it was something that we actually liked, and then we'd record it. But how do you guys kind of go about the songwriting process? Because I know that with the ability to record, you could start throwing even stuff like sample tracks and loops and random other stuff in there like right away, and you can make it kind of fully fleshed out before you even like play it live, for example.
I would say it's almost like most of our stuff is like written in a demo before we play it at all. Like, uh, we'll finish, a whole song and then it's just on to the next one. Like, we kind of just like the catalog, and put out is the little amount of time that we have to get together and write, because we both have, kids and lives and stuff like that. It's very difficult to find the time to get together like that. But when we do, we make it count, and it's basically precious time that we have to really just try to bang out as much music as we can. And
Yeah.
it is easier for sure to have a home studio, but
Yeah. So are you like sending like wave files back and forth to like get the demos done, or is he coming over to like record, or how's that go?
yeah, he basically, anytime we're writing, it's just at my crib. If he has any ideas, usually he'll send them to me. Or like, we'll wait until we're there in person, and then just basically we'll just start tracking. I mean, it's
Nice.
very easy process.
Now, has that process changed that you've added more people, or is it still like do you guys like play other instruments just to get them down on the track and then bring somebody over and say like, here's what we got, embellish as you will, but like, this is the recording?
Yeah, pretty much. We've never been the kind of, I think in like our old bands and stuff, or at least my one band I was in, we used to get in a room and do the whole, you go around the circle and ask who's got a riff, and then, but we also had unlimited time back then too. So yeah, for now it's just at his house. One of us has a guitar. We might track something. We'll get up, go take a break. The other guy's got the guitar, and both of us playing guitar. That's how it all starts, with guitar riffs, and then we add on the layers and drums. And
yeah,
once we have something that sounds like a song, then we might toss it around and ask, what everybody thinks about it. But
yeah.
I mean, I have a bass that I bought that just to serve for doing, home recordings. By no means, it's not like a bass I would use at a show or anything, but it gets us through until we record it.
Yeah.
In a professional studio. But then drums, that's just like a MIDI out piano roll, just placing drums. I try to steer clear of using pre-made loops.
Yeah.
Just because I found myself getting like addicted to it when I first started recording. And then later on down the line, now we're like kind of just going through the entire song after we lay down guitar. It might be a riff or it might be half the song. Then we'll place drums and kind of got the full thing,
Yeah. Well, and I know like with drum stems or whatever they call them too, is like you don't get to like ad lib it all, right? It's like a formula. Like you just got to stick within the formula. Like here's the beats, here's the, the time, whatever. And you just play along to it. Then if you want a different thing, you then have to chop that and add another drum stem from another beat or whatever. It's like to have somebody to be able to play the drums or do it on like an actual drum making thing. You can actually do that without having to copy and snip and all that other stuff. Right. So you get it more it sounds more natural than just like a chunking it together, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So do either of you guys actually play the drum? Like when you guys play live, are you guys both playing guitar and singing, or like, how does that work? Cause I know like Austin, as far as I could tell from like the music videos, you're singing, but it's hard to spot everybody else. Cause usually there's, it's a dark scene that's happening or something like that. I'm like, I don't even know who's who.
Arm, leg,
yeah, no, we've filled, for live performances, you say? Like, yeah, we've got a full-time, drummer, bassist. We've got everything now. So, but early on, I mean, we both dabble in everything. We both play a little bit of everything to just get by, like you were saying earlier, to get the demos scratched out.
Yeah. That definitely helps, like at least knowing somewhat how to navigate our way through other instruments.
Yeah. So how did the auditions go for the band? Did you guys have to do like some sort of hazing technique to get them on board, or was it just like, yeah, we're good, let's go?
It's a weird story how we got our current drummer.
It's weird. Yeah. I will say this, like, at this stage, trying to find a drummer who's not already shared between 2, 3, 4 bands.
17 bands, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the toughest part. But yeah, actually, we just happened to find our drummer. He lives maybe 5 minutes down the road from us, and I've got a coworker who's dating him, or are they engaged?
No, I think they're engaged. Yeah.
Either way, I mean, it was just really weird. Like I just heard, oh, this guy plays drums, and then we asked him, and he immediately was like, "Yeah, I've been looking for I don't know, you know how things work. It's just
Yeah. When it's weird when you're like over the age of 30 to try to make adult male friends too, right? It's like, oh, hey, buddy, like,
yeah,
do you want to jam with me?
right.
Crazy thing turns out that like he ran in like my friend circle back when I was like in high school.
Yeah, small world kind of situation too.
So I knew him, and like as soon as he told me like, hey, made this connection, I'm like, you said who? And it just like clicked with me, like, oh, I know that guy. He can play drums.
Yeah.
So yeah, and our bassist, he is a friend of. He's been a friend of mine for a long, long time. So like I basically told him, yeah, you can if you want to, come try out or learn the music and come play, but everything's a discussion too. So like me and Austin are always talking before we make any big decisions like that. So
it was an easy process though. When you talk about auditions and like stress, there was how it is. We're beggars can be choosers, and then they turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
And friends. So like it's a good situation.
Yeah, and I've always found that the best way to, even if you have to like train them up a little bit from like what their current level is to get to like on your level, it's better to do that sometimes than to already get like a person who's great, because they're probably not going to stick around that long, or they'll just like make excuses about like, oh, I've got other things better to do. It's like, well, this guy who's working his ass off over here doesn't have anything better to do. He wants to be here. So see you later, buddy.
them wanting to play is a plus.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of a spotlight in a little hot seat question here. So other than you guys and maybe you can even say one of your bands or the band that you're in. But I was going to say, give me one band from each of you that is from Alabama that you'd recommend to our listeners.
That is on the spotlight. I mean, is it? I would have to say
you can't recommend your own.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Other band.
Well, you could say it afterwards, but recommend somebody else first.
I'm gonna say a band called Qualifier.
Qualifier?
And, yeah, they're like almost like a punk rock outfit and
melodic punk hardcore.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're friends of ours, but on top of that, they're just amazing musicians. Very, very, very good live. And we've the other band that I'm in has had their vocalist on guest vocals on a track, and
nice.
So we run into them a lot as far as playing shows and stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say like now they're gonna have to watch the show, so that way you'd be like, oh well, I talked about you guys, so you got to watch the show now.
That's great. Yeah.
What about you, Austin?
There's a band that's going to play a show with us in June that I've been getting into. They're called Odd Polly.
Okay.
Odd Polly.
Yeah.
Emo, but it's not. I don't know. It's really fresh, like real different take on emo. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might have actually heard of that band. The name sounds familiar, so I may or may not have known them. Like I said, I hear bits and pieces from people that tour, and then it's like they know somebody, and somehow I get like, oh, I like that band now, and then I like see them on Instagram or something, like on a flyer or something. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that's where it's from.
Yeah, I think they went on a little tour. Well, they've got a new EP, so it's
okay. Really cool. And then what's the other band that you play in, Jonathan?
Well, so I just kind of dragged him in it with me, but it's a band called Penny Circus. Penny Circus, okay. Yeah, and I've been playing in that band for, like I said, like around 6 years now, and it was my introduction back into music. Kind of saved me from a hard time, and then brought me back into kind of brought me back to life musically. And here recently, we had kind of a little change in the band where vocalist, he was playing guitar, and he had the idea to free himself up, and he knows of Austin because of the fact that we're co-bands. I play in both, so I kind of suggested, hey, why don't you try out Austin? And he already knew Austin from the band that he used to play in. So it was kind of a perfect formula, and we played our first show last weekend with Austin playing guitar and doing backing vocals, and it went well. So I mean, I definitely think people should check it out.
Nice. And if Austin was a really good new band member to that band, he would have mentioned that when he reached out to me about Homebody. He'd been like, oh, and by the way, you could check out this other band too. But he was like, no.
Yeah, man.
I thought I was still on am I not on probation or trial or whatever?
This guy.
Isn't there like a couple of weeks you have to wait, like a soft period or something?
This guy, he's too humble. He's definitely a good addition to the band.
Nice. Very cool. I will say one of the only other bands that I remember off the top of my head from Alabama is a band called Carver Commodore from Florence. I don't know if you guys are aware of them, but they're a pretty cool band as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Actually, Florence is where we so.
What'd you say?
We just played a show in Florence too. So
Florence has some good music.
They
yeah.
do.
Carver Commodore was just here in Vegas like maybe 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. So it was like a Monday or Tuesday, so I couldn't go, but I was like, oh man, I wanted to go. Last question for you guys. Alabama doesn't have a great reputation within the rest of the United States when it comes to things like civil rights and politics. But what's the best thing about Alabama, in your opinion?
I don't know. It's just it's an ever changing thing where you can kind of make the best out of a situation where the scene died out for a while. Musically, the music scene died out for a while. It felt like, and then it just had a resurgence out of nowhere, and now like heavy music is kind of making a little comeback here, and seeing a lot more shows. So I don't know. I mean, just being able to be a part of that, and I feel like anybody that's involved in whatever they're involved in, things happen when you go for it. So I think the best thing is actually being able to change things. Yeah.
What about you, Austin? You have anything that you prefer about Alabama over maybe other places, even if you've never been anywhere else? Like, I don't know.
Complicated question.
It's not the weather.
It's definitely not the weather.
I don't know, dude. I mean, it's beautiful outside. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say?
Well, for example, like I think Furnace Fest is in Alabama, right? Like, so like,
yeah.
That's one of the cool things that Alabama brings to music is like this pretty raging rock, festival that like, I don't even know when it started, but like I finally heard about it like a couple years ago, and I was like, this lineup's fucking awesome. Like, why have I not heard of this festival before? And also, who the fuck in Alabama is going to this festival? Because I didn't even know Alabama had places like this that could support this music scene. But pretty much anytime there's a college town, there's usually like a rock and roll band scene somewhere in there. But I think that's for example, like I've never been to Alabama. I've never had a reason to go, but then I saw Furnace Fest and I was like, well, there's a reason to go to Alabama now.
Yeah, we definitely we Furnace Fest is awesome, and
we're trending upwards, dude. Like,
I would say so. Yeah.
We've got that. Okay, to be optimistic, like it's like we're finally catching on a little bit. But for the longest time, our scene was pretty like wounded after like an era. I mean, it's been a long time where we've had really next to nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're working to just stay in it. I mean, it is a grind to be a part of it, but I mean, if you're making an effort, then things happen. So,
well, let's put it this way: Homebody is out there. making shit happen in the state of Alabama for rock music. So if you guys are in Alabama and you want to go check out some cool ass rock shows, look for them on a flyer somewhere, or one of the 3-4 other bands that we talked about, because like I said, there are some really good up and coming bands. The Furnace Fest is I don't want to say an up and coming festival. I don't even, like I said, I don't know how long it's been around, but it's got an absolutely rad lineup every year. So if you're in Alabama or near it, and you want to go to a really cool rock show, like there's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, I'm going to go to Furnace Fest for that, because it's usually pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I mean, did you have anything else you want to plug or shout out before we go today?
We've got a couple weeks. We should have a new music video for Hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have mentioned that coming on.
Yeah.
We don't have a set date, but just a few weeks. So like, just be looking out for that. And
we got some shows coming up.
Yeah.
We got one show where both of our bands are playing the same show. So yeah, June 26th and is that right? June 26th.
June 16th and May 26th.
Okay, June 16th and May 26th. So just check us out.
What venues are you playing at? So that way, if anybody's like obviously from Alabama, they go check it out.
Shrimp Tab is one of them, right?
That's Penny Circuses.
Okay.
We're gonna be playing at this really old, like really cool DIY place that used to be like really.
Okay, I don't know.
I mean, they had shows all the time, and then kind of stalled, and they're coming back. It's called The Shed. It's in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And then be it For the Record in Florence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been a great conversation. I always, like to hear everybody's kind of like story of how they're getting to where they're going. And, I would have never heard of you guys if you hadn't reached out. So that's another thing that I always like, is like when somebody's like, hey, I make good music, maybe somebody else out there would appreciate it. And you actually have the courage to like reach out. Like, it's tough to get people like that are just like, nah, it's not good. Like, rejection sucks, but like, there's definitely you got something good going. So I definitely want to make sure that everybody that's listening to this episode goes to the show notes below this episode to click on the links for Homebody, because their music is really good. And like I said, they've got a lot of music, so you'll be able to check out, it's not just the one single that you've heard here today. They have 2 other EPs and a full length album that you can check out. And it's all really good. Like, I was shocked at how like great it sounded, because I'm like, I've never heard of this band. And like, how it is, like, when I'm 2,000 miles away, it's like hard to know of every band on the East Coast or in the South or whatever. And it's like, there's so many good bands out there that do just like what you guys do. And it's putting them out there and shining the light on you. That's like, I want you guys to get more people, because you guys deserve it. So make sure to go to show notes below and go follow them, listen to their music and everything else. And remember that the Powered by Rock podcast is powered by our listeners. To show us some support, please be sure to subscribe and share the podcast on social media. If you're just listening to this podcast on like Spotify or Apple, you can also check out the full video interview on our YouTube and Spotify as well. So you can actually watch our video and you can see all the cool stuff that we're doing in the background that you didn't get to hear on the audio channel. Also, if you like reading and you want to check out some of our awesome content or shop our merch and gear, head to poweredbyrock.com to see what's good there. That's our show for today. I'll see you soon for the next episode. Until then, rock on.
Supposed to be